NANI?!
Okay, anyway, this is a trim sheet tutorial. If you want to make beautiful textures just like this, watch this video. Thank you. Let's get into it. Okay, welcome. We're going to be making the trim sheet in Blender. I don't normally work in Blender, but just so everyone can follow along. So we're going to start off with a basic plane. We want to keep that 1:1 scale on it. Don't change anything about it. And then you want to be thinking about how many faces of this trim sheet you're going to use. So this is generally preference. You still want space to work in when you sculpt. So it's whatever you feel comfortable with, or if it fits your needs. Like me, I'm going to be doing just a simple wooden trim sheet. It's just the easiest to showcase. So I'm going to have 4 loop cuts to give me 5 faces. 4 of those faces are going to be for each side of the cube. Then the last section here, we're going to split into the end caps so we can finish off the shape. Obviously, we can't put these long wooden beams over the long side of the, or the short side of the faces, sorry. From here, add 2 loop cuts into the first 4 faces, just like that. Then what you're going to do is scale those loop cuts to get some spacing here. So do that for each one. Try and keep it even. I'm going to do mine quickly, so don't expect anything amazing, but I encourage you to take more time on this because it will affect the outcome of your normal bevels if you're not going to paint them on. Then you're going to select all these 4 faces. You're going to press G, Z to move it up in the Z axis. Try and get as close to a 45-degree angle as you can. So it's probably about there. I'm eyeballing that. Some people are going to know better than me. Check from the top. These little indents are going to be your bevels. So from here, 2 loop cuts. So each one should try and get to like an end cap shape. If you think about a cube, it's just going to be either a rectangle or a square, however close you can get. We are going to delete this face because in my case, I won't need it. I don't know what else I'm going to put there unless you want to put some like smaller beams that are going to tile more. Yeah, so back into face, and you need to inset and extrude these. So we're going to press I. Probably do this for each face. So we'll come down to about here. Experiment with this. It seems to work. So probably make this just like that. Perfect. Select these 2 faces. Do the same thing you did at the start, where you bring this up to a 45-degree angle. So probably there. Again, take more time on that. You can see the bevels here. So that's about that. Next stage is we're going to come into the y-axis again. We'll go wireframe. We're going to separate each of these wooden beams. So when we go into our sculpting, each of these are going to be in their own little poly group in ZBrush. In Blender, I'm not sure how you do this. So good luck. And we'll go into these. We'll separate these 2 as well. I say good luck in Blender, but I don't think it's too different to ZBrush. You should still be able to do this all. Okay, yeah, so that's all done. We're gonna join the first 4 wooden beams, just because we're gonna scale them in a second. So Select these, Control J. Create a new plane. And then we're gonna scale this by 2 in the X and Y. Then we're also gonna scale this X, oh no, Y 2. So what this does is ensures that this is the texture is gonna tile properly when we bake and stuff like that. So grab these two and Control J this as well. We're gonna add a normal plane and just name this wooden trim low, just so we're all prepared, so we can just export these two. Export wooden trim low. So this plane here is what you're going to bake the larger one onto to act as your trim sheet. As you see, it'll like overlap here, make sure it tiles. So export both, but we're going to be editing wooden trim high. So if you're sculpting in Blender, this is what you're going to be editing. So yeah, I will export this and then see you in ZBrush. Okay, so I've imported the wooden trim into ZBrush. This is an older mesh, not the one I made previously. So it has these two little beams here. So pretty much start with the basic ZBrush workflow. You want to divide your polygroups, so just do auto groups and then it will split everything up. You want to, so we're going to start with like edge highlights first, or not edge highlights, but trimming the edges. So go to Lightbox, brush, trim smooth border is what I like to use. But personal preference, again, if you got a better one, it's fine. Then head over to brush, curve, and then wrap mode 2. So this is going to make sure our texture is still going to tile when we're sculpting, so we don't get any like you see here, like wraps around. So from here, just trim down these edges here, on here as well, just to get some nice shapes going, get that stylized look. Again, if you're not sculpting a wooden trim sheet, probably doesn't apply to you. Still probably looks nice, but yeah. I'll speed this part of the video up. I'm not using a drawing tablet, I'm using a mouse, so if this looks horrible, it's fine. It's for showcase purpose. But yeah, here we go. So yeah, this is pretty much looking done. We're gonna head over to the Orbs Cracks brush, which you can get in the Orb pack for free. And then you just kind of want to add some like interesting lines. This is literally preference. I'm just gonna do some random lines. It's up to you. But yeah, so this part you kind of have freedom over it. So yeah, mess around with this, see what you like. So yeah. So yeah, we got some interesting lines here. Obviously looks stylized in a minute, we're doing good. Then we're just going to head down over to these little end caps, turn our brush size down, and we're going to add the little swirl. You can use alphas for this. Depends how you're feeling. I will probably end up using alphas. No, we're going to use that. We'll use it. And then okay, so That'll be that done. Okay, so now you've got your whole trim sheet done. You just want to export it as a wooden trim high. And then you have your wooden trim low from the 1 meter plane we showed. And then, yeah, take those two, head over to Substance, and I'll see you there. Okay, so when you're in Substance, I'm just gonna go over baking just in case you have problems, because I did the first time and it's just easier to get it perfect first time. You want to head over to your bake mesh maps, choose your high poly, choose high, set the output to 2K. What I found works best is you only change max frontal distance and you want your plane to be above that so you can see what's going to be baked through the blue. So that looks about right. Again, you can change based on how you feel, but above is going to be fine, so like 0.3. So bake that. You can just check this little preview window here in case nothing's going too good. But as you can see, it came out good. And then you start your texturing process using your mesh maps. Next thing we'll do is head over to Maya and just show you how to use a trim sheet. Okay, so again, once you're in the respected program of your choice, you just want to take a cube. So we did a wooden beam. Again, this could be for buildings, this could be for literally anything. And then you want to give it a new texture. Again, this is going to be different in so many 3D programs. So we're just going to use a color in a normal map for this sake. So find where your wooden trim is, choose the color, material attributes, normal map, desktop, wooden trim, normal map. Okay, so that's all done. Make sure your material preview is on just so you can see it. So as you can see right now, this looks horrible. Don't worry about it, we're gonna fix that. So in your 3D program, you want to see your texture. Just like this, just so you can take each face and move it to where you need it to be. So what we're gonna do here is cut this. We're gonna move it. Never mind. We're gonna cut this. It's gonna be its own little UV shell. As you can see, it's that face, and you want to align it perfectly within here. Make sure you get it to this dent here, because that's gonna be your little normal bevel. Okay, that's perfect. Then scale it to this size as well, just to get your whole detail in. You're probably gonna be like, oh my god, this is so messy, if you like your little neat UVs. But that's fine. Just get used to it. And then yeah, you can see here there is like a fake bevel. You want to do that for all sides. Just start scaling each of these cubes to your texture, and then yeah, you'll end up getting something like I'll show you in a second. But yeah, no, you want to keep scaling everything, and you'll end up getting a cool little wooden beam or whatever you made in your trim sheet. But yeah, hope you enjoyed. Get ready for the outro. I'll see you in the next tutorial.